22 years ago, the mighty Morphin Power Rangers defeated Rita and Lord Zed, but then the team disbanded. In this first page we are not told if Rita and Lord Zed died, we are only told that the Rangers defeated them, and that could mean several things. Despite this, we can see that they exploded part of the moon, and we all know that Rita and Lord Zed's palace was there. After all this time, in the present, we see that the Rangers' command center is destroyed, and so is the moon. Inside the command center there is a Ranger, who apparently is having a battle with an enemy and prepares his blaster to attack. This Ranger is Jason, which we can notice that his suit is in bad shape and his helmet is also broken. Jason starts firing his blaster to begin his attack, but the enemy also attacks him, and we can see that the colors of the energy are yellow and pink. Jason is hit by that big energy, and we can quickly see the Ranger's new enemy. Because of the darkness, we can't see this character's face and we don't know anything about him or her. What we can see is that he or she is a very powerful character, as he or she has managed to defeat Jason and has taken away his power coin. Jason wants to know who this powerful villain is, and he responds by saying that it is the past coming to haunt him. Then, with Jason's coin in his hand, the villain also tells him, "I am the future." With these words we can deduce that this powerful villain could be a character from the past that perhaps the Rangers had already defeated previously and now comes to take revenge on them. This is why we cannot rule out the possibility that Rita and Lord Zed are still alive. In Angel Grove there is a celebration for the inauguration of the youth center, which is going to be named after Trini Kwan in honor of her life. Billy is giving a few words to all the guests at this celebration, mentions that Trini was a United Nations Human Rights Commissioner, and that she was also the longest-serving mayor in Angel Grove. This is a very important fact as it gives us more information about Trini's life after she defeated Rita and Lord Zed. This was an excellent way to honor the memory of the actress who played Trini, letting the character rest in peace and at the same time talking about the great things she was able to achieve in her life. In addition to honoring Tui Trang's memory in this story, they also gave a little space to the character Ernie, the owner of the juice bar, since the actor of this character also passed away. After Billy talked a lot of good things about Trini, he gave some space to Zach so that he could also talk about Trini. At this moment, something unexpected happens for all of us, and that is that all the people who were in that place already knew that Zach is a Power Ranger. Zach is very famous at this moment, and this is obviously because he is a Power Ranger. We can also notice that in this place is Kimberly, but apparently no one knows her, so we assume that no one knows that she was also a Power Ranger. She is remembering her friend and all those special moments they spent together. We must say that the illustrator of these images did an excellent job, as the characters look very much like the original actors and also all the places around. Kimberly takes the opportunity to go to the cemetery to bring flowers, and at that moment she meets Zach, who tells her that she left in the best part. Kimberly replies that the best part was when Billy made everyone cry, and she decided to leave when everyone started screaming for the famous Power Ranger. Apparently, Kimberly doesn't like everyone knowing that Zach is a Power Ranger, and he apologizes for getting all the attention. Zach also tells Kimberly that he would have liked her to say a few words as well, but she replies that she wants to keep a low profile. Despite this, Zach invites her to lunch at a very quiet place so they can keep a low profile, and Billy is also going to join them. Kimberly is still hesitant and says that she must get to the airport, but Zach manages to convince her. Even though Kimberly accepted the invitation, she asks Zach to call her by her new name, Emma Phillips, since she is not Kimberly Hart now. They both leave the place, and we find the terrible surprise that the grave was not Trini's, but Tommy Oliver's, who died in 2001. We can realize that in this story all the people who have also died in real life have passed away, and possibly this was done as a tribute to all of them, to let their characters rest in peace. At the restaurant, the three Rangers are enjoying a good conversation, and at the same time they let us know that Kimberly was away for a long time. Apparently, what happened in the past was so hard for Kimberly that she moved away from everyone, changed her name, and didn't even go back to see Trini before her passing. In this conversation the Rangers also revealed that Zack wrote a book talking about everything the Power Rangers did, but to protect the identity of the other team members, he said he was the only Ranger in Angel Grove. This starts a tremendous argument, as Zack would like to reveal to the world that Trini was a Power Ranger as well, so everyone knows that she saved the world multiple times. Kimberly doesn't want Zack to keep revealing those secrets, since if he changes the first version he had given in his book, then everyone will realize that the other Power Rangers are her friends from school. Zack thinks that revealing that secret wouldn't be so bad since it would help Billy with his company, plus Kimberly is living in Canada under a different name, so she has nothing to lose. These words make Kimberly very angry, as she feels she has nothing left and tells Zack that he can't make decisions that will affect others. Billy tries to defuse the situation by mentioning that something good came up when Zack revealed that he is a Power Ranger and that they created a clean energy hip-hop keto festival. Zack explains that this is an environmental charity event that is held once a year. They bring together a lot of artists to raise money, and it's all powered by clean energy. Billy also talks about his telecommunications company, which he created in order to raise money to finance his secret project. Billy used the data from Alpha 5's memory that he managed to save after the terrible event and has been using it to create a method of teleportation for all of humanity. The purpose of this is that they can teleport food to places in need, teleport people away from danger, or also to teleport diseases out of the human body. Billy had to use his power coin to access the grid to use that energy, but this makes Kimberly very angry since, 22 years ago they had all agreed not to be Power Rangers again. Billy and Zack explain to her that the agreement was not to transform, and they are just using the power coins to get the energy. After this, they confess to Kimberly that they invited her to lunch to talk to her about Jason, and that several years ago he was a fireman, but after a big fire in which many people died, he disappeared. Jason felt responsible for not having saved all those people because he knew he had the power in his hands to save them all and he wasn't using it. After a while, Billy noticed that someone was using the power of the grid besides him and Zack. Jason had transformed and started saving a lot of people. He then became obsessed to the point that he asked Billy and Zack to stop using the power coin so that he could be transformed permanently. Despite this, Billy realized that there was another person using the grid power, and because Trini had already passed away, Jason thought that Kimberly was using the power coin. Kimberly can't believe what she is hearing, but then Billy clarifies that they convinced Jason that it had to be someone else using the power, so they started looking for that someone else. Unfortunately, last week Jason disappeared, and at the same time Billy discovered that Jason and the other person who was using the grid power were no longer doing so. Kimberly is terrified by all this that is happening, but at the same time she doesn't understand why they need her, and Zack tells her that they should become Power Rangers one last time to find Jason. This proposal makes Kimberly very angry, but Zack and Billy tell her that they have kept the promise they made and have not turned into Power Rangers for over 20 years. On top of that, they are willing to break that promise in order to save Jason, but unfortunately, Kimberly is still adamant that she doesn't want to be a Ranger again. Billy tells her that they need her Zord so they can cover more ground flying to find Jason, but Kimberly turns them down. We can tell that there is someone watching the Rangers and apparently, they are not happy. Kimberly is in a cab on her way to the airport to return home to Canada and starts reading all the text messages she has received from a person we don't know. This person knows about Billy and Zach but has never been able to meet them and wants to meet them very much. Kimberly replies that someday she will be able to meet them. The next day, Kimberly is already at home looking at the photos she has of Trini in order to remember her, and at that moment someone knocks on the door. We still don't know who the person who was writing the text messages is, but apparently Kimberly thought it was the same person who was knocking on the door. To her surprise, the person at the door was Trini's niece, who looks exactly like her aunt and is looking for Kimberly, although Kim insists she is Emma Phillips. Trini's niece insists that she is not mistaken as she has a picture of Trini and Kimberly together. She then tells Kimberly that she wants her help in becoming the next Power Ranger.